Okay, so today we're doing kind of the part 3-ish sort of for me building my streaming desk, my live little do stuff live. And we've got the desk. I've got my computer picked out right now. I've got an Xbox over there. I got my new keyboard. I got a mouse. That's all coming together. But now I need a camera. So I actually know which two cameras I'm going to be using. One of them, of course, is going to be this guy. So the ZV1F, because it's a nice camera for that. And I also have the ZV1. So I have the ZV1 and ZV1F. Both are going to be used for capturing. Now, both of these cameras have built-in capturing abilities for doing setting up as a webcam, live streaming, etc., but they really only capture in and around that 720p mark. So I wanted to kind of test today to see if I bought a really inexpensive capture card, and you guys can see it here. I bought this over a year ago. You guys can see it here, right? December 30th, 2021. I've never ever used it, never opened it. 29 bucks. What I like about it is it has an HDMI in, as well as your out, and a USB. So if you were using this for gaming, for instance, it has a pass-through, which is really cool. I think in capture-wise, it is only going to capture, I believe, in 1080. That's fine. The question is it better? Because really, for most of us that are streaming, right, doing that kind of streaming stuff, really, we're probably only streaming in 1080 anyway. And is there much of a difference from 720? So I'm going to primarily be using the ZV1F, and we'll plug it into OBS, I think it is. I'm just getting new at this stuff. I'm just new. OBS, and we'll see what it looks like with 720p coming straight out of the camera. And then, of course, we'll try this guy, which is probably the best video capture card you can get right now for $29, maybe. Okay, so yeah, that's it right there, right? It doesn't give you a whole lot of specs, but this was the reason that I bought it, was the fact that it had an input and an output, so that you could like use it as a gaming pass-through. I thought was really cool, right? If you're just coming from a camera, which I'm doing, you basically input and then USB out. Sweet. But for now, we are going to make sure we have OBS installed, because that's what I'm going to be using. As far as I know, that's what I'm going to be using. Sometimes I find, maybe it's just me, I've had more issues with OBS in the past than I'd like to admit to. Oh wait, the new version. Okay, here we go. New version is available. So it did load up. It took its sweet time. And it says that there's a new version available. So I'm going to download that, and we'll be right back. Actually, while that's setting up, because I'm on a Mac, I did bring down a USB-C cable. And what I'm going to do, because you're going to want to see this on a stand, of course. So I got my little Sony vlogger stand here, which we're going to use. It's got a full battery, but the bonus of using the USB cable, and of course, this isn't the one that came with it, but it comes with it, so you're good in that aspect. The bonus is, if you're using the cable, is it's one-stop shop, right? You just kind of come in here. There's USB. Now you could use its own, like a different mic if you so chose, and I put the wrong camera on here. Hold on. Okay, I could tell right away. I was just like, it feels too heavy, and why isn't the little furry hat guy on there? Because wrong camera. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna put you over there. Just make sure you guys can kind of see it. Tilt it up at me. All right, which is another reason why I like this little camera. We're taking this, and this is going into USB-C. Again, another reason I like the ZV1F, because USB-C, whereas the ZV1 only has USB or micro USB. So this is going in there, which should, make this good to go. So if I turn this on, oh, here it comes. You guys see that? It automatically comes up and says, do you want to do a live streaming? Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Okay, the USB streaming function always operates in movie mode. Okay. That sounds good. Start streaming from the connected device, it says. You guys see that? I did, right? Oh, it's gone already. But, put that there. It's going to be 720. I have it locked at 1/50th at f2.0 ISO 200. So I think that's good. I've seen some tests because I've been online doing some searching, and some people said that when it comes to the USB, at least with the ZV1, it was darker than through HDMI. Is that something that the capture card does? Is that something the software is doing? I don't know. So we're going to find out. All right, install and relaunch. Now, bonuses too, it should see this camera plugged in, would be my guess. Okay, so this is my screen here, and it's recording the screen. Now, if I hit plus down here, I should be able to enter a video capture device. We'll call it video, maybe USB Sony ZV1F. I'll say create a new, okay. And then device, I'm guessing, all right, it says it should be there, but I'm not seeing it. Hold on, I gotta figure some stuff out. Okay, so if it doesn't work, there shouldn't be anything fancy that you have to do, but if it doesn't work, good chance it's your cable, because I just replaced my USB-C cable, and now it works. So we're gonna bring up OBS Studio again, and again, this is coming through. It says right on the screen of the camera, you guys can hopefully see that, right? See in the top corner up here, HD 720, right? So 720. Okay, so now I'm gonna say this one here, and device ZV1F. There we go. Boom. Preset high, right? I'm gonna say right up to as high as it can go. Hit OK. And I should be able to test this. So if I move this just so it fits the whole screen, you know, just full screen like so. Very nice. And I was to pretend, can I do that? Can I pretend? Start streaming? No. Can I see it big? I should be able to see it big, yes. And I'm seeing it in a small window, which is fine, but, and you can actually see on the camera, it does say USB streaming output, so it is outputting, which is really nice. So just to be sure, let's actually go and see if we can get this full screen just so you guys can see it. Hold on. Okay, well, I'm gonna close that and just bring up another program so you guys can see. And this is FaceTime, and same thing. We're using the ZV1 for FaceTime. Just make sure that's full screen so we can see the quality. But you guys are seeing the recording, and you can tell, right? It is in here, like in my beard and stuff like that. It is it's a little soft, but 720 is not horrible. And you still get that nice like depth of field, but you can see that you lose some of the sharpness. But it is functioning, which means that it's functioning well. Now there is coming through USB, and it may be just something you and I have to deal with, or maybe something that we have to test, because it's what we see on the screen has a slight bit of a delay. But I think that's just in the preview window. When we do an actual test, with the ZV1F and it's all kind of functioning, which we may do actually, the day that I release this, maybe that afternoon, we'll do just a quick test between the two cameras to see what kind of difference we see. But right now, it's not bad for 720. And the little ZV1 does so nice with lights. Like, there's no blowout. No blowout here at all. So, very pleased. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to switch this. We're going to turn this off here. And we're going to turn the camera off. Okay, we're going to unplug this stuff. Okay, keep that cable there because we know that cable works. And you guys are going to see the magic that is the $29 Canadian $29 video capture card. Check this out. So it comes with your USB-A to USB-A. So because of that, on a Mac, I do need this adapter. Big deal? No, not really. I have it, so it's fine. So that's going in there, and that's plugging into my laptop. Sweet. Look at that. Man, that's good stuff. Mic in if you want. Headphone. There's your USB. I'm guessing that's out to the computer, right? And there's your HDMI output and HDMI input. Okay, so we also, so hold on. This is going into here. Yes. Boom. Power. That's the sweetness. And I did buy a bunch of micro HDMI cables. Hold on, I just got to find it. And to go along with my super expensive HDMI capture card, I also spent the least amount of money one could physically spend on HDMI cables. Yeah, I think this was $9.99. Maybe it was that much. So I'm not spending a lot of money, right? Right now with cable for HDMI, I'm at what's that? 29, 39 bucks. That's okay. That's okay. So this now before you do this, you have to do this. So when the camera's here, when you got your menu on, wherever my menu is right here, you know, you see that here? You're gonna go all the way down. This is with the ZV1, ZV1F, sorry. And you'll see in the yellow, under I think it's 11, you'll see HDMI info display. And you want that off, because if not, you get all the information on your screen, like exposure compensation and blah, blah, blah. It's all on the screen. We want like a clean HDMI out. So it's right there. Now the ZV1, because the menus are different, it's a little bit in a different spot, but it says the same thing. So if you have a ZV1 or a ZV-E10 or any of that, that's all you have to find, that one right there. And we should be good. So I'm just gonna click out of this. Okay. And you'll see there's all that menu-y goodness right there that's on the screen. My hope is now that once we plug the HDMI in, bring that back, it'll be like, oh, I see what you're trying to do here. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. So we're taking this, again, I believe this is micro HDMI. Check your manual just to make sure. Okay, that's going in there. Okay, and then this, we'll wrap this around the screen here. This is going into the old HDMI in. Boom. Anything? So far nothing's happened, but maybe I have to open something. So maybe we have to, let's bring up FaceTime again, just to see. That's using my, oh, there's USB video. Oh, you guys are seeing, that is way cleaner. Now, I will say it's a tad bit brighter, but that is definitely cleaner. You guys should be able to see that, right? Oh, that's much cleaner. It's noticeable, for sure. And it's clean, right? It's clean. So if I were to go into, just to turn this off, if I were to go into OBS Studio again, and this time switch it to this, it's just to make sure that it actually functions, right? So if I were to come in here and we come into this one, same idea, but this time say USB video. Yeah. See, that's it's not overexposing by any means. It's got a, you know, no, I think that's going to be okay. And I think this is the bonus of like OBS, right? Is, can I actually switch? Yeah, see, look, 1920. Oh, yes. So now I can be like, let's make that bigger. So we're pushing out in 1920. Oh, fantastic. So that is going to work way nicer. And as we could see from that, right, this isn't doing 4K, right? 1920 is all we're getting. But for me, like the hope is that I'll be able to do some gaming stuff possibly with you guys. I'm going to be running right now probably just on Xbox One S, Xbox One S, not a Series S, an Xbox One S. And because of that, it's only 1080 gaming anyway. So, okay, I'm pleased. I'm super pleased. That's all working super good. Super good, right? And then we could transition there to this one. Yeah, that's okay. I think for my primary camera, whatever I use as a primary, I'll probably use the capture card because it just has that little bit more detail, I think. And it's definitely brighter. So I think they're right when they said the USB was a bit darker. But I do have a feeling somewhere in here that you can, maybe in here. Oh, here you go, color correction, right? So I could come in here, and just be like, okay, let's bring that down a little bit so it's not as dark. Let's bring the brightness down. So a lot of things you and I could play with just to get that video exactly how you and I want it, right? Just playing with contrast and things like that, you know, and then close that and you get that kind of nice image. Sweet. All right, guys, I think I figured out what I want. I think I'm going to use HDMI capture for the little ZV1F. Now realize because of that, I actually have to also run power to it because we're not running a USB, so I'll have to run like a power brick or run it straight to the wall as well. But that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'll use the ZV1, I think, as a wide shot of the setup. And then we'll have the Xbox running through another capture card that I have already, which I think maybe even higher quality. But I kind of want that for capturing the games. All right, guys. ZV1, ZV1F, even the ZV-E10, USB versus HDMI. I know it's been done out there before, but I've gone through the whole setup, and hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and also make sure that it sets up perfectly for you first time around. All right, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.